Hi, it's Randy with My Gold Panning. I'm here today to show you the Bedrock Buster. The Bedrock Buster is designed for working inside of narrow crevices and bedrock cracks. It's extremely effective removing all gold particles out of those bedrock cracks. Part of the dilemma I face is show you how effective this is for working inside of narrow spaces and bedrock cracks. As I mentioned before, the primary idea being is you go inside of a bedrock crack with the tube. I know the cracks get quite narrow, which is why I've designed small tips go inside of bedrock cracks. So I built a glass bedrock crack, completely see-through, that you can view me removing material out of that bedrock crack. So here's the glass bedrock crack. I'll be showing the Bedrock Buster removing material from that glass crack. So what I've done here is hooked up a pump with a valve, putting water into this area. What's inside the bedrock crack is a mixture of sand and black sand. It's a combination of the heavier sands that you find out there. I want to show removing material. I'm going to put this light behind so you can see more clearly removal of materials from the crack. Something else I'd like you to be aware of as well. There is a one-way valve at the top of this tube, and that prevents backflow of water out of the pump assembly into this area you're working. But there's a little water in the tube that drains out, but it's largely blocked off. So there are certain limitations with the size of tube. You can only get out so deep in a crack depending on the width of crack. Now the water is expelled over the control head. A little bit of water back drains out of the tube. The one-way valve in the control head stops the rest. You're going to hit the point where you reach the limit of depth in the crack. When that happens, you could switch to the fine tube if you wish. I also have an optional add-on tip. They come in 1 foot and 2 foot lengths. This allows you to go down deeper inside of bedrock cracks. Unfortunately, my light decided not to work anymore, so I have to move that out of the picture. So here's the narrower spaghetti tube. What happens is the material sucked up the tube, goes in the capture cartridge. The water in the front end of this tube does drain out, but you have such a long, hard pull on the material you're sucking out of that you capture that in the capture cartridge. The water is expelled on the top. Bedrock cracks vary in thickness. If you hit a thin one, a very thin crack, is why I've designed this thinner probe or thinner tube to go down. You get the pick probe built in on the end, which allows you to scoop up material as you're moving along like this. If you hit this material that's stuck, you better lift it out, and it also acts like a funnel. Now these two pieces of glass go right to a fine point at the very bottom, so it can take it right down quite fine, quite a ways. And you can, in essence, empty out a bedrock crack pretty close to completely. Make it completely clean right to the bottom. Unless it's a hair crack, which won't contain much gold, you're going to empty that crack and keep all the gold for yourself. Okay, so we vacuumed out this bedrock crack, and now I'm going to move this off the top and pan out what we have in our cartridge to show you what sort of things we're recovering. Okay, so the pan is empty except for bits of debris and stuff in the bottom of the pan. There's nothing in it. I'm just going to drop the pan down the side here. I'm going to open up the cartridge. Now the cartridge has got a fair amount of gold-bearing sand in it. There's a lot in there, you can sort of see. You just mix this with water, shake it into the gold pan. That's how you get the contents out. So there's our gold pan. I'm going to put a bit of water in it. This. And you dump out the contents of your cartridge. It's empty now. I'm just going to drop this in the bucket. Okay. Now I'm using gold bearing material. There's gold mixed in with this. As I mentioned, this is gold bearing material. Now these are just large flakes I've picked. Just giving you some idea about the sucking power the Bedrock Buster has. It's a very effective tool for cleaning out bedrock cracks.